You one of those people that actually wants to find a local community newspaper in your deli or your little cafe that you go to, and you know what, you want to find out what's going on in your little section of the world? Well, guess what? Here in Miami, we got the Miami Community Newspaper. Grant Miller comes on today. He runs the show over there. They've got a lot more than just their newspaper, online stuff, all these fascinating stories about local people, Miami talk. So come check this episode out with Grant, who's a character. I don't even know. Maybe he should have been doing the episode, and I should have just been sitting there quiet. But enjoy, folks.
Welcome to Cut to the Chase, where we talk about compelling legal, regulatory, and public interest information and news. Your host is Gregg Goldfarb, an attorney, entrepreneur, investor, and activist.
All right, folks, it's time for our favorite podcast, Cut to the Chase. I am here at the Miami Community Newspapers with Grant Miller to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is newspapers and local newspapers. In the old days, used to go to a deli, marketplace, and one of my favorite activities would be opening the door and finding 3 or 4 local newspapers to, and I would take them and read them and figure out what was going on around town, learn about people. All of a sudden, things started to die out, except one community newspaper that I continue to see, the Miami Community News.
I eat cheeseburgers. I go to delis in the morning.
Okay.
I go to lots of Lodge, Bagel Emporium. And I always eat burgers at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And so, most delis in Dade County still have Miami Community Newspapers in their lobbies.
Yeah.
So my brother and I have been doing this. You like my hat?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I'm not sure why I was not afforded,
Well, next time.
Next time.
Okay, so
build up to it.
My brother and I have been doing this 42 years together.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And people go, how do you work with your brother? And it's the other way around. How does my brother work with me?
Yeah.
So originally he was 68 steps away. His office was far away, so he could never get in a fight.
Okay.
Now he moved 38 steps away, so it's different now.
Yeah.
But you're asking how's community newspapers do it? Well, we've been doing it. There's an old saying from a Clint Eastwood movie: adapt, improvise, overcome.
Yeah.
Every day you have to be adapting, you have to improvise, you have to overcome, because the media business is changing so quickly. As we talked about television. Television is not that little thing on top of your living room thing. It's now a phone, iPads, computers. So we are turned on a dime. We do a lot of social media. We do a lot of newsletters. We still do print. Print is very strong. It's stronger than ever because people want, when they're at the deli or at their restaurant or getting their hair done or going to a sub place, they pick up a paper and read the local news.
It's amazing that you're still doing it. It's giving me hope that the world is not changing so much that I'm no longer able to, basically do my stuff. And, I saw you at Joanna's a couple weeks ago, and I was reading your newspaper, and you just popped out, and you just said, that's a great pet. And I said, and you told me to read the automotive section, which you wrote on that particular. What's your connection with the automotive world?
I write a car column. It's been going on 20 some odd years. Every week I get a different car. Not from the dealerships, from the manufacturers. So right now I have a 2025 Corvette. So I get the cars, I test them, see how they are. Are they good for families or not good for families? Are they good for local driving? And I drive it for a week and I give my opinion.
Yeah. Are you allowed to tell me your favorite car? I mean, or is that kind of verboten?
No, but it's now these trucks. The Lightning Ford 150 electric is the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
But all of them are good. There's not one bad car because cars fit everybody. Not everybody I'm driving a Corvette. You got to be skinny to get in and out of that thing. It's tough. So there's cars for everybody.
And, what I'm seeing now, my girlfriend's got a VW stick shift, and she's so attached to the stick shift. And I can drive a stick shift, but I don't like to. All right. And so I'm trying to convince her, go EV. I showed her your article on the show, the Blazer. I think you had one on
the Blazer's unbelievable. People ask me about electric all the time. If you're going to hook up electric at your house, FPL has a nice deal. 10 years, really inexpensive. If you have electric your house, electric car, but the problem with electric, you don't know how fast you're going because most cars are electric. You can't tell, but it's very smooth and it's enjoyable. And I'm not used to you turn the car off, but electric, you have to pay attention to turn it off because you can't even hear the engine.
Yeah, and the keys, you got to have a key or whatever. All right, but I want to go back to, I'm going to take this opportunity to explore your mind on cars. Are there other, stick shift cars besides the VW? And what cars are still making stick shifts, and why can't I find any anymore?
I don't know. I rarely test drive a stick shift.
Yeah,
I'm not good at it anyway.
Yeah,
I go from first gear to third gear. I miss second.
Yeah.
So I don't know why there's got to be a cost factor in it.
You remember Studebakers?
Sure.
All right. So
there's a restaurant Studebakers, but not
a
that.
long time ago, near the out on 127th Avenue.
Right.
One of my first jobs was valeting, and I didn't know how to drive a stick shift. And of course, the first car I got was the manager's car, and he had a high-end stick shift or whatever. And I almost killed the whole thing. I'm still recovering from that. All right, and one of my favorite articles that you wrote, I thought it was a great article, was on Santa Claus at the end of the year, and who was Santa Claus and why we should all try to be.
I use the word Santa Claus, but it's like anything. Couldn't have to be Santa Claus, but Santa Claus is always giving, and we have to start thinking about that all the time.
It was amazing. So, but what was the story about who was Santa Claus? I'm assuming Santa Claus. I'm a Jewish guy.
Okay. What?
I didn't know that. I knew you were like, wow, don't let this guy in. I'm sure he's gonna have some shtick or whatever that I just can't process. But the article was interesting.
Don't worry, Michael has interviewed how many rabbis last weekend? 4. Yeah, 4 rabbis last week.
From Chabad, I saw.
All over,
yeah. And were they informative? Did they behave themselves?
Hold on. Rochelle, who's the producer, were they good? They're all informative. They're all open. I went to Palmetto Bay Chabad, who had an event at the city of Palmetto Bay. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all good. So why Santa Claus? Where does Santa Claus come from? Does he have a reindeer? Well, I still believe in that.
Yeah,
I still believe in that.
Yeah, why are you even saying that you still believe in it?
But
is it not true?
It's true to me.
It's true, yeah. Is there any doubt?
Well, if my tooth falls out, I still put it under my pillowcase.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Really? No. I mean, you have real teeth? Yeah, it looks
barely.
They look good. No, they look fantastic. Better than mine. I'm kind of keeping my fit. And
are you from Miami?
I'm from Miami. I was actually born in Baptist Hospital. But
what high school do you go to?
Well, Miami Palmetto High School.
How old are you?
I'm old enough. 58.
You got brothers?
Sister.
Older.
Yeah.
How old?
60. I'm going to go to 61.
Oh, because my brother, we all went to Palmetto.
Yeah. Oh, nice. What year did you graduate? Can I ask you what
75.
year? So, all right. So you were before Bezos.
Yeah, me and Jeff were, exactly. I hung out at detention. He hung out. No, I'm much older than he is.
You're not much. You're a little older than he is.
Oh,
a little older.
Yeah, I don't know how old he is.
Yeah. Palmetto, great. I just had our 40th reunion. Fantastic class. We had the best time. It was a great school.
Wait, so you went to your reunion?
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused.
Yeah.
The people that I went to high school with, that I'm friends with, I'm still friends with. So when you go to a reunion, you haven't seen somebody in 40, 50 years. You go, hey, how are you? How you kids?
Yeah. Well,
it's a little strange, isn't it?
Well, there's a lot of people that I want to I have the 10-minute ticker. I'm like, hey, what's up? There are a lot, I liked you in high school, but I didn't keep in touch with you. And now I'd like to get, are you all right? Are you alive? Or where are you located?
But with Facebook, maybe Facebook's for it.
But, these days I'm less and less into the Facebook. I don't know.
I spoke to an old friend, Gregg Schwartz. We've been friends, Of course.
I know Gregg, yeah.
It used to be very good in tennis.
As well. I played on Miami Palmetto's high school team.
Yeah, so Gregg, I see him once in a while, but it was 60 years we've known each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice. So I'm sure speaking of tennis, like the Don Patrines of the world, They were down here at the country club across the street.
I don't know anything about
You
tennis.
don't know tennis? No, really.
No, I only know is pickleball's ruining it.
Yeah, well, when I saw on your wall that you had the pickleball champion, the over 65 champion recently, I guess.
Yeah, we're trying to get one who's 85.
85, yeah.
And two players, that's it.
Where are they playing? I mean, I can't find a pickleball court to play on.
They play,
so-
well, now down south, they play everywhere in Miami now, everywhere.
but it's just so big and popular or whatever.
Yeah.
For a while, I couldn't even get on a court. Plus, I'm a tennis player, so it's kind of like, if you go into the pickleball world and
You cheated.
I don't know if cheating is the right word for the whole thing, but it's a little bit disorienting when you get on the pickleball.
God, I love that picture you and me. Look, I got a little hair.
Look,
Look, look at, and you got a little hair.
I got a little bit of hair. Yes, everybody has a little bit of hair. I did some study or whatever. And apparently, we all have some hair, even if you don't see it. Well, let's talk about. I mean, I'm here. I want to talk about what you guys do because I don't know that the community fully is aware, and I'm talking about the Miami community of your periodic. Is it a periodical or is it we call it?
Yeah, you call that.
And you also have events here. You've got an online platform. There are events let's talk about the events.
Well, on Friday, we have Mario Diaz-Balart speaking.
Okay.
We're probably going to have more people there than as much as the governor. Or we had Chris Christie come in from New York. We had an event with him. We've had the governor twice. We've had Marco Rubio. We just had Rick Scott.
I heard you had Charlie Chris for 8 minutes.
Yeah. You mean the one? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all he spoke.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you? And that was it.
Yeah.
He didn't have much to say. Polling wasn't good for him. But so we do that once or twice a month. So probably 15, 16 times a year. We have events open to to our ambassadors or customers. Ambassadors or readers.
Yeah.
And then we have newspapers. We have a health magazine that comes out every 2 months. We have a newsletters. We have 22 newsletters a month that come out.
That's amazing.
Yeah, each area gets their own. Wherever area you're in, you get it twice a month. Then you get a countywide once a week. The subject in the countywide one was PBS, the station. And then that's what we do.
So if I'm in Aventura and I pick up the community newspaper,
I know it's called Aventura News.
It's called Aventura News. Is it the same thing as the one that I see in Pinecrest?
No, they're all completely different. Not completely. A lot of ads go the same.
Yeah.
There's a few stories that are the same, but majority is completely different.
And so for local small businesses, obviously there's an opportunity to advertise as well.
That's correct. I just read that Mayor Cava is going to start promoting. They hired somebody to help small and medium businesses get more connected to the community, get more connected to the county, and that's the challenge we have. Is you play that lawyer or attorney? You're a lawyer because you passed the bar.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no,
the other way around. The other way around.
So
you're a lawyer because you passed law school. As soon as you pass the bar, then you're an attorney.
Yeah, thank you for helping me with that.
Where did you go to law school?
I went to University of Miami.
Okay.
It's all about the U. University of Virginia. I was kind of peaked academically when I was about 16, playing tennis.
At Palmetto.
And then
Who's your coach at Palmetto?
Meredith Lane, not much of a tennis player.
The woman.
Woman, yeah.
Pitch all, I remember.
Yeah, she was. She suspended me. My best friend,
Who was your best friend?
David Chase. He's also an attorney, whatever. So we top 5 get play, all right? And so we have this big tournament. I came in 6th. David came in 5th. And, I was a little upset. First day of practice, whatever. He decides we were all into professional wrestling, okay? So he's hiding behind a bush. I'm walking. I walk. He jumps me. Like
Where at Palmetto?
This was at Coral Reef. This is where we used to, the Coral Reef, the park.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we used to practice. So he jumps me. I turn her around. I put him in a headlock. Meredith Lane walks out, and she sees me on top of him.
The star tennis player.
The star tennis player, and I got him in a headlock or whatever. And so she's like, break it up, whatever. We walk out there and all this. First thing she does, Gregg Goldfarb, you are suspended, and David Chase, you are the captain of the team. And that was the end of it. And at that point, I think I don't know what the connection was, but now everything's kind of downhill from there. And now here I am,
Top of the world.
Maybe things are changing now.
It's top of the world right now.
All right, so talk to me. What are your thoughts on Miami? You've been here for a long time.
68 years.
60. Were you born here?
Born and raised.
My God, what hospital were you born at?
Jackson.
Jackson. Okay. All right. So I'm going to end on this note. Well, first of all, talk to me a little bit about your podcast. I didn't realize until I was driving up here, and then I'm like, wow, it's got a podcast on top of this.
Yeah, well, we don't call them podcast. We broadcasting now. It's really confusing. What is a podcast? 10 years ago, podcast is just radio.
Yeah.
Or it's just voice. So we do a lot of shows a month, a week, and they vary from all over. I usually not in the office. I'm usually out, but my brother does a lot of them, and we have a lot.
That would be Michael.
Michael.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of video podcasts. I call them video podcasts or broadcasting. And we have range of, you name it, from a lot of county commissioners, city commissioners. The Mayor Kava's been here. All these different people have shows. Kava comes. We have different religions that come in and talk about it. Just different women's organization, men's organization, animals. We had solid waste here. Comes every Monday. Talk about,
Nice.
trash.
Trash is huge.
Huge.
And all right, so the last episode that I listened to was something that I didn't even realize was actually happening in Miami. And another reason why people should pay attention to your newspaper and your all the content that you're providing was about the comedy in South Florida.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I didn't even know there was comedy. I thought it was like a walking.
You're a comedian.
I thought it was it. I'm just talking to myself, laughing.
We
and
have two cops here
oh
that
my
they're
God.
gonna take over the floor in about 5 minutes. But there's a comedy in Doral. There's that one in Dania. It's called
Bay Club also.
Yeah, it's huge. Comedy. What's the show called, Rochelle? Comedy Calendar. They come in.
Yeah.
And it's so we do it all the time. And this is part of communications.
Yeah.
We say newspapers, but we communicate, whether it's print, radio, television, whatever we call it. Whatever television is, the phone is a television now.
Yeah.
So, and we're nominated for an Emmy, one of the few Suncast Emmy, and it wasn't regular standard TV. It was on our platforms. It was Rochelle was one of the nominees, a 105-year-old Jewish World War II veteran who was in the bunker of Hitler the day after he died. He was guarding it. Am I correct, Rochelle? Took some Hitler stationery, wrote a love letter to his wife. He still has it.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Willard Shepard did the interview. Rochelle did some of the editing. So Sebastian went up there and did the filming. So yeah. So and we have high school kids that do shows, different things like that. So any other
forecast Miami? Are you excited? Are we on the way up? Are we we're not an old city, but we're not a young city.
You drive through, but people complain about traffic, complain about building. Well, if there was no traffic, there'd be no jobs. And there's no buildings being built, there'd be no jobs. The only question is the county has to figure out how to get more jobs in South Dade. Where do you live?
Miami Beach.
Okay. In South Dade, North Dade, and West Kendall. They got to get bigger businesses out there so people don't have to travel for hours at a time.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest issue the county has, getting jobs in the right locations.
Yeah, I'd like them to finish some of the construction that they started like 40 years ago. Some of the road construction's
Right.
going on. All right, well, that'll do it on this episode. You know what to do. Subscribe, rate, review. Check out all of the content at the Miami Community News. And if you don't have one of these hats, I don't know, where do you get one?
There's a taco hat.
There's a taco.
Is there any
hats you have down there?
I got a lot of them. We're
You
hiding
got a
from
lot
you.
of them. All right.
Well, it's an honor to be on your show.
Fans, thank you.
You got it.
All right.
Everybody,
I
have
know
a great
you gotta
day.
Make your next move.
All right, 3 takeaways from that energetic and episodic episode with Grant Miller, him and his brother. All right, number 1, him and his brother Michael Miller, Miami guys. They own and run the show at Miami Community News, a local newspaper, print. You remember that? Print. That's number 1 takeaway. Number 2, they've got newsletters for all these little cities in Miami-Dade County and Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, so you can find out even more specific stuff about your particular neighborhood. Aventura, Cutler Bay, there's all these little towns. So you go online and you find yours and you can see what's going on. Number 3, not only do they have the print, This guy is just over the top. He's got like 5 studios at his location or whatever, and they're doing 40 shows a week to watch about what's going on in Miami and all around Miami or whatever. So we all know how much we love Miami. Watch this episode and you'll get all that intel and make your life more enriched than it is.
That's all for this episode of Cut to the Chase. But before you go, will you open up your podcast app and give us a 5-star review? You can also leave a comment about what you liked most or other topics you'd like us to cover. And please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming shows. Thanks, everybody. Be safe out there.